Jeez, they are never gonna believe what I have in store for the Freeze arc. Oh, hi! How you doing? I'm Lance. You might know me as Mr. Fusion. I'm the creator of such shows as Dragon Ball Dissection. I just wanted to extend a thank you to everybody because I had a huge surge in subscribership over the Christmas season. I went from under 5,000 to now about almost 6,300. So thanks everybody for continuing to watch the show and for checking in this video right now. So, what should I talk about? I mean, there's so many things. Bicycling, gender nonconformism. I mean, the sky is the limit because that's the beautiful thing about having absolutely no loose ends, absolutely no dangling cliffhangers to resolve. Oh my god. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Alright, I'll do Batman! See? Here it is. Haven't forgotten about it. Alright, come on, hit me with it. Ooh, there we go. Twice a little bit cold. Chapter 10! It's been a while, so let me get you back up to speed. When we left our cunning villains, they decided that rather than shooting the unconscious Batman with the guns they clearly had, they were just going to drop a gangplank on him and run away. So Batman rolls out of the way. So did Batman just happen to wake up in the nick of time, or was this more the equivalent of curling up in the fetal position so they can't punch your kidneys anymore? As in, Batman was so convinced he'd lose this fight, he just pretended to be unconscious so they'd stop beating him up and instead put him into an easily escapable death trap? And look, he just rolled over the side of a pier and he's completely dry.
Batman's boots didn't even look damp.
Since Doc has sent Fletcher to the Sphinx Club to avoid the cops trying to arrest him, he's kinda pissed that Fletcher has now returned to the one place that Doc is.
I personally killed him on the wharf outside the club.
No, you didn't. You're one of the idiots with a gun that ran away. Bernie's the one who dropped the gangplank on him. I know a lot of you henchmen are interchangeable, but Bernie's gonna be so pissed. So since the beginning of the series, Doc has been receiving information about the plot from the mysterious Section 50. Now we finally get to see Section 50, and it's just this guy on a radio camping out in a model in the middle of nowhere. But he does know one of their agents is passing off some radium, so Doc makes plans to intercept. And because this is such a big deal, the government contacts Batman and Robin again.
It's a code message from Washington.
That's not code, that's just English. Bruce thinks that since Chuck White worked out so well last time, he should use him again to get close to some of the other members of the gang and find out where the radium is. I guess he's basing this on the assumption that the gang just doesn't talk to one another and therefore the rest of them won't recognize who he is. And it turns out he's right.
Very good.
But before that, Linda comes in to complain about Bruce having stood her up, to which he explains that he took both Dick and Chuck to the amusement park.
Upstairs while I change.
So Chuck White returns to the Sphinx Club to tell Bernie, hey, you know, I admit I pulled a gun on you and I'm Batman and shouldn't be doing that stuff anyway, so I just wanted to say, my bad. And this actually works, so Bernie introduces him to Wallace, who immediately hires him to help with the radium drop-off. But Doc's gang apparently works like a fraternity initiation, so Chuck has to stay all alone in the spooky house. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was interviewing for a job and the wall slid shut, trapping me in, I'd freak out. But not Batman. He's just like, that's cute. Oh, but if Doc looks at him through the eyes of a picture, that's worthy of a furrowed brow. Okay, so here's their plan, and I think you're really going to appreciate just how much aviation security's changed in the past 70 years. So, this guy has the radium. Wait. I just spent 10 hours on a plane. I would kill for windows that big. Anyway, this guy has radium, but I guess the government's getting suspicious, so they're planning to check the passengers at some point. That is to say, They didn't bother to check for the radioactive material before he got on a plane. They just figured that maybe they might as well check now that they're in the air. So the bad guys send a message to warn him in mid-flight, which I guess nobody finds suspicious, so he runs to the bathroom and uses his gun to smash open the window and drop out the radium, which is equipped with a little parachute. The rest of the bad guys and Chuck will be waiting on the ground to find it. First off, it's a good thing airplane cabins weren't pressurized then, because that would just be awkward. Second, nowadays it's a federal offense to dismantle an airplane smoke detector, but back in the innocent 40s, this guy can just take radium and a gun onto a plane and smash open the window, and as far as I know, no one even notices. So like I said, Chuck is taken along and assigned to a spot to try and catch the falling radium. And now comes a moment I like to call stupid people overreacting. Bruce has so far accomplished what he was assigned to do. He got in with the gang so he knows exactly where and when the radium is going to be delivered, which means that the first thing he's going to do is abandon his post in the most suspicious manner possible by running off, and he's immediately caught. However, for all Klein knew, he just really had to go to the bathroom, but that doesn't stop him from beating the crap out of Chuck. Funnily enough, Chuck actually wins the fight and runs off to change into Batman, but I guess he figures he shouldn't push his luck, try to win 2 fights in a row, so he immediately steals a car and gets out of there. Bye, Robin! Have fun taking out the rest of the guys by yourself! The goons shoot the tires out of the car, which causes it to run off the edge of a hill and, naturally, explode. Chapter 11! And they always start with the end of the last week. And there was Batman trying to get out. And here comes the cliff. And just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free! And all the kids cheered. But I didn't cheer. I stood right up and started shouting, "This isn't what happened last week! Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us! This isn't fair! He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car!"
What happened, sir?
They shot out a tire and the car left the road. I managed to jump just in time.
Did they get the shipment, sir?
I'm afraid they did.
No, you don't get to use the everything is now alright music. You completely failed. The bad guys got the radium to power their giant dildo. All you did was treat us to a plan you sabotaged, a fight that sucked, and a cliffhanger we've already seen before. What are you going to do now?
We still have Marshall down at police headquarters. He's good for a lot of information. He'll be made to talk.
We couldn't make him talk before, and we had him in the Bats cave.
Yeah, but Marshall hasn't met Chuck White as yet.
Oh, so your new plan is the old plan. Find a member of Doc's gang you haven't pissed off yet, dance around in your mobster stereotype routine, get them to give you information, and then change into Batman so they can beat you up. In the last chapter, they gave Marshall over to the authorities, so they get Chuck White arrested so he can just happen to be put in the cell right next to Marshall. Chuck claims he once broke into a place where he found a man-sized bat, so rather than telling him to go to the public Sphinx Club to pass off that information, Marshall instead gives the complete stranger the address of Section 50, their top-secret intelligence gathering model house. Okay, that is pretty stupid, but to be fair, Marshall's gotta be in a pretty bad mood. His friends left him for dead in a mine, he had to endure being tied up in a hot metal box while the unseen voice of a laughing Bostonian taunted him. He thought he talked to his friend Bernie at the Sphinx Club only for them to never bust him out of the Bat's cave, and then he was thrown out of a moving car onto the sidewalk. I guess we can cut him some slack. Now that Chuck has gotten his information, it's time for Dick and Alfred to get him out of jail. But we can't just assume they did, we have to actually watch a scene where they negotiate with a bail bondsman. We even get to see him haggle.
It'll cost $25 with an extra 5 for my services.
That much?
That much? Aren't you guys millionaires? You're really gonna quibble over $30? And we really needed to see this? But it doesn't even matter because Daka bails him out, and naturally Bruce/Chuck/Batman doesn't question the idea that an anonymous person bailed him out of jail. And the reason Daka bailed him out is so Burke and Klein can follow through on Plan 5, which is to run him over in a truck. I guess they must do that one a lot since it's so high up on the list of plans. At least it's probably more common than Plan 94, which is to find a coffin left behind on the beach. However, this plan does have some panache, as it involves switching out your Gotham City truck for stock footage of this Manhattan truck, which is going to make it a lot harder for the cops to figure out who did it.
Nice work, Klein. That's much better than running over him.
Yeah. That ought to be curtains for Mr. White.
Much obliged for fixing me up, Doc.
I didn't edit that. At all. It seriously transitions from the bad guys patting themselves on the back to showing that Bruce is so okay, it didn't even knock his prosthetic makeup off. Talk about sapping the tension. They've ended chapters on cliffhangers less dangerous than this. And I guess we don't even need to see the taxi driver. I'm sure he was so fine he just walked away from the scene and is enjoying a delicious burrito right now. See, this is why DACA no longer believes you when you say, oh yeah, we totally finished off Batman this time.
Wayne residence.
Hello, Alfred.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Bruce. We were getting worried about you, sir.
Yeah, about that. Why would you go bail him out of jail in the first place if you were just gonna stand around at home rather than pick him up? But Bruce is so unharmed that he just tells Alfred to take him straight to Section 50.
Looks like that place is well guarded.
Yeah, we should use our stunt doubles just to be on the safe side. Now behold the sinister Axis operations of Section 50. Guys playing cards, gaze in terror at their intimidating bunk beds.
I'm taking a walk. It might change my luck.
Avon calling. Seriously, were they trying to make this chapter a comedy? If so, it's working. So, what could have been the good cliffhanger came in the middle of the chapter, and now at the end of the chapter they actually win a fight. Apparently all the rules are meaningless. My life is a
Keep them
lie.
covered, Robin, and look the place over.
Wait, that's not Batman's voice at all! The continuity gods are displeased. Looks like you guys get a death trap ending after all.
Let him have it.
Oh, no, wait a minute. I think Dak could thank us more if we brought him in alive. You know, a man of his strength would be very useful if turned into a zombie.
I don't know, you guys do manage to beat him up every chapter.
It's Chuck White.
But before they can do much more, Robin, the real hero of the story, sneaks into the radio room and contacts the police. Don't worry guys, I have a plan. I'm going to stay behind, by myself, and blow up the entire place so we can make sure they're dead. No, you guys go ahead. Don't stay and make sure I get out okay. Just leave and assume everything went according to plan. I'll be fine, it's just dynamite, and I'm sure they won't wake up anytime soon. Oh crap, he woke up anytime soon. If only I had some other guys here to help get him off of me, I guess I'll just die. Chapter 12! So I guess going through the trap door that Batman somehow knew was there was faster than going through the front door. That's why they didn't blow up somehow. At least it's something unexpected.
Glad we missed that.
Unlike that guy we just killed. Yeah, can we go back a second and talk about how brutal Batman was in that last cliffhanger? I mean, sure, other bad guys have died in this serial, but that's typically been more of a consequence of something else, so it's only kinda Batman's fault. But here, he's not even trying to escape, he's just trying to make sure Croft doesn't escape. Look at the terror in his face!
Let me go, you fool! This place is gonna blow up any second.
Yeah, he's talking sense here. Nope, just knock him out and leave him for dead.
I won't kill you. But I don't have to save you.
Well played. So, back at DACA headquarters.
The enemies of the new order. May their fates be sealed as quickly as was Chuck White.
Okay, why do these guys care about Chuck White so much? Remember, this is the inner circle. These aren't the guys who just found out that Batman and Chuck White are the same person. To these guys, Chuck White's just some guy who pulled a gun on Fletcher and ran away from the radium drop. Why do they care so much? Why is Chuck White taking over the serial? This isn't Batman anymore, it's Bat Chuck. Anyway, now the other guys show up.
Who authorized you to come here? You were instructed to remain at Section 50 until notified.
But there is no more Section 50. Croft blew it up.
And for some reason, he didn't join us afterwards. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything went wrong or that he's dead. Our old pal Bernie from the Sphinx Club shows up and says he found out that Marshall and Chuck White talked in prison. Well, in that case, Bernie, give Marshall these cigarettes for me. Medusa brand? Well, I can't possibly see how this is anything but legit. Of course I'll give him these perfectly safe cigarettes. And as I'm on my way out, I'll look back at his writhing form and say, hashtag, feel the burn. Okay, I know that was terrible, but I gotta work in some topical humor every once in a while, right? But you know, it's not as if everyone else in this gang wasn't taken in by Chuck White at some point, but Marshall has to die for it. Like I said, this guy's had a rough week. Also, Captain Arnold's an idiot. He tells the guard to gather Marshall's possessions, but not for any kind of legitimate reason, it turns out. It's just so he can rummage through the stuff and take whatever he likes, including the perfectly safe Medusa cigarettes. And then, when Batman calls him to tell him not to smoke them because they're poison, he starts smoking one anyway. In this continuity, Commissioner Gordon probably took over when Captain Arnold shot himself with a suspect's gun he thought was a trick cigarette lighter. Okay, so now that that's done, the real plot can get underway. So we got our radium. Are we ever going to use that new gun? Nope, never. Okay, well, see, we can't use Chuck White anymore because everybody knows who he is. What plots haven't we looked at in a while? Oh, that's right! What about Uncle Martin? Remember Uncle Martin, Linda's uncle that got turned into a zombie? How about we use him to lure Linda into a trap to lure Batman into a trap? Because even though everyone's convinced Chuck White is dead, Doc is now under the assumption that since Batman seems to keep coming back, there must be multiple Batmen. Which is true. He hasn't killed off any of his stunt doubles yet. So they drive Uncle Martin near Linda's office, which lures her to Martin's old factory, which lures Batman there, where they use a smoke flare to lure the bad guys downstairs.
Andrews, Burke! There's something burning downstairs, and this joint will go up like paper.
Which is why I'm going to go check on this alleged fire while smoking a cigarette. Oh, that was a bad idea. Cigarettes are just bad. If they're not poisoning you, they're setting you on fire. If they're not setting you on fire, they're setting up awkward jump cuts to make it look like you just got crushed to death. Next time! Wait a minute! Is that another shot of Robin we're not gonna see in the next chapter? Didn't I end the last video this way? Also, I bet you $10 this scene doesn't appear in the next chapter at all. Yes! Yes, I did! What is so important about Sid's music shop? Why can't I ever see Sid's music shop? Why are you hiding from me? Why do you keep teasing me? No, I'm not gonna let this go. No! No!